Hello and welcome to the preliminary patch notes for patch 4.4, which releases on the 18th of September. Included within patch 4.4 will not be the Hildebrand quests or Eureka Pyros. Those are actually scheduled for patch 4.45. The main content in 4.4 includes the main storyline quests, which include of the two new dungeons, the Burn, unlocked through the continuation of that storyline. The second of those dungeons is Saint Mosiani's Arboretum hard mode, which you will unlock within Ralga's Reach as part of a side quest. The final chapter of the Omega storyline and raids within this patch, within the Omega Alphascape, will be unlocked via the NPC Jesse in Ralga's Reach, unlocking 4 consecutive raid fights on normal mode and then Savage. The Forlord side story has been updated in the Ruby Sea, with the continuing quests unlocking the new trial fight against Suzaku, which afterwards the Wandering Minstrel in Kagane will unlock the extreme mode version of that fight, which you'll be able to obtain the new Suzaku Primal Kamui Wolf mount as a rare drop that's on fire, as illustrated here. The Doman Enclave rebuilding storyline in the Doman Enclave continues, with presumably more rewards upon completion of the weekly donation tasks, filled with enjoyable storyline and these cutscenes that we saw in a trailer. Included in this is the ability to now repair in the Doman Enclave via a new Mender NPC, and the ability to teleport via a new Ethernet there, and the ability to mount in the Enclave itself. The Shifting Canals of Uznair is included in this patch, which is a new instance rarely opened via portal during time-worn Gazelle-skin maps in Stormblood areas. This roulette-style minigame dungeon spins a platform. Where it lands depends on what you fight, whether you're teleported out, and what indeed lucky rewards you can obtain, likely the new crafting materials, and possibly a new minion. Now onto minor content and changes. The prerequisite for the Crystal Tower Alliance raid at level 50 previously required the attendance and completion of various fates. Those have been replaced with a specific enemy spawn instead at each location to increase the speed of the attunement for new players unable to spawn these fates as frequently as the original release of this content. Zloe Aliapo, the custom deliveries merchant in Idleshire, has been updated with the ability to glamour her outfit to what you want. This happened with Kurenai, the other NPC in the Ruby Sea, and now you get to play dress up with your second favourite Makote in Idleshire. With the visual change is the ability to earn more experience and scripts per turn-in for both gatherers and crafters, apparently matching those of Monago in Ralga's Reach. The Adventurer Squadrons has seen an update in the form of 2 new dungeons. The Vault and the Wanderer's Palace hard mode will be on the list of things you can do with your squadron NPCs. Let's hope they actually QA'd them this time. They increased the experience gained for those NPCs in these missions, and also added a challenge log entry to award Grand Company seals for doing a number of them. You can now also be promoted to Captain as part of the Grand Company questline, which increases your seals cap to 90,000 from the previous 80,000 cap. The company workshops have also been updated for 3 companies, and you can now upgrade your submarines further, with new dive locations and rewards, presumably more crafting materials, and probably a minion. The maximum rank for a submersible is now rank 40, and you can have a maximum of 4 submersibles now. Onto housing additions. You can get a whole new set of items from the Furnishing Design Contest winners and runners-up, including this stylish ceiling light, bunk beds, shower basins, a bird bath, clothes you can put on the floor of your bedroom to make it look lived in, and much more. Expect a lot of videos on these. Mannequins also make their debut in this patch. This allows the ability to put mannequins in certain poses in your house. This also allows you to sell items from these mannequins on the market board, allowing players to visit your estate to see a completed glamour set and then purchase the items. These will be available from housing merchants in your ward, and of course you will be linked on the market board the location of that mannequin. Housing tags are also in this patch. This is the ability to choose up to 3 tags for your house, be it RP, tavern, aquarium, or whatever you like from the list. This changes how your estate is seen on the map, and ward lists, so people can find the nearest tavern, for example, which is a nice touch with those filters. New fish have also been added to aquariums, and flowers to flower pots. And now onto the Gold Saucer, which is getting the new Gate, A Leap of Faith, which is a ever-changing jumping puzzle instance, which includes further MGP rewards the further you get on the puzzle and the more cactuar totems you collect, with the gilded cactuar inside there being worth 500 MGP, for example. They've also made gates more frequent inside the Gold Saucer and have increased the MGP across the board from them. The price of mini cactpot tickets has now been reduced to 10 MGP, even for all 3 tickets, and also the payout of the jumbo cactpot has been increased for all runners-up tiers. For example, the second prize now awards 200,000 MGP instead of 100,000, and 5th place now rewards 1,000 MGP instead of 216. All this accumulates towards a new reward, as predicted from these increases, the Fungar mount, which is just epic, and I cannot wait to get this. New Triple Triad cards have been added to the game, and the new trial, dungeon bosses and more got immortalized in card form as usual. The Perform action got additions for bards in the form of new percussive instruments, including timpani, bongos, bass drum, snare drum and cymbals, which you can further immerse people to the game in Limsa Laminsa with. The Ceremony of Eternal Bond anniversaries were added, and these events are available to players who did a bond on or after the day they try to do their anniversary, and will only be able to redo this once per year. You can now talk to the new Makote NPC with your Eternal Bond ring in your inventory to start the procedures at the cathedral in East Shroud. You can also get new rewards, including the new Moogle minion, from attending this ceremony. The Wondrous Tales has been updated and now includes squares of Emanation Extreme, Pool of Tribute Extreme, Ridorana Lighthouse, and Sigmascape Normal 1 through 4. New emotes in this patch include the /hum emote, where your character will swing their arms around and hum to themselves in quiet contemplation. And you can also get the new /tombstone phone emote for simply connecting your account to the phone app. No premium account is apparently required, thankfully. A new hairstyle from the Hairstyle Design Contest has been added in 4.4, this short hair with beaded braids on the back, which still looks like a Jedi haircut in my opinion, and it's way too short for my liking. Tons of job changes and PvP changes, which we'll talk about in separate videos as well. However, to note, this is the patch where we get all 10 role actions unlocked at the same time, and this is a temporary measure before 5.0, where they plan to rework role actions completely for their next expansion. The Echo has been added to the normal and extreme modes of Tsukiyomi, up to a maximum of 50% in normal and 25% Echo in extreme. This will make the fight easier to farm and much easier for newcomers to join in. The drop rate for the auspicious Kamoy Wolf mount from the Jade Stower Extreme has also been increased, with the addition of exchanging 99 of his totems for the mount in this patch added to Rauga's Reach. Raid Finder now includes Hell's Kier Extreme, Alphascape Savage 1 through 4, and the Duty Finder now has Tsukiyomi Extreme and Sigmascape 1 through 4 Savage added to it. This patch also removed the lockout and weekly restrictions from the Ridorana Lighthouse Alliance raid, meaning it will be even easier to gear your characters or alt jobs up. This includes a lift on Guggen coin lockouts as well. Ultimate has got a 375 item level sync put on it to preserve its difficulty. However, the restriction on weekly totems was removed. With the new Tomestones of Genesis, Mendacity is now the new creation, and Genesis is the top reward tombstone. And dungeons, trials, raids, hunts, etc. are all affected with these changes, but the exact same quantities are present from all sources. The Duty Roulette Expert now just has the Burn and St. Mossiani's Hard instead of Hell's Lid, Fractal Hard and the Swallow's Compass, with those 3 latter dungeons being added to the regular 70 roulette instead. The other roulettes have been adjusted in this way too, with raids, alliance raids and trials moved because of the new ones being added. Pagos got 2 changes in this patch, wow. Easier to see the exit on the map due to a new icon, and apparently the Heatwaves weather effect has been adjusted. That's it for Pagos changes. They show the new dungeon set from the Burn that's basically a reskin with a few new changes, and then this nice looking autumnal clothing that you will no doubt craft with Masterwork Crafting. I especially like the woolen lined boots and the coat there. About ready for that in real life, to be honest. They made it apparently easier to customize more housing items, allowing for more housing items to be painted, and there are a few minor changes to Desynthesis, increasing the class skill cap to 380 and the cumulative skill cap to 1160. New gathering node locations for miners and botanists, and new fishing holes are added to the game, included those in the Dome and Enclave, along with new fish. You can now even see what conditions are required to catch fish on the fish guide, which is a nice quality of life change. The movement speed of mounts in 4.0 areas can now also be increased to 2 stars, however the maximum speed in residential areas and Ralga's Reach will remain unchanged. Likely you'll increase this through hunts. And the following mounts can now fly. The Gobu, Laurel Gobu, Cavalry Drake, and even the Behemoth can now fly, which is pretty funny. They then show off the Suzaku barding that looks incredible, and the new Capybara minion, which we don't know where it's from at this time. Some minor system changes next, along with the ability to now see achievement rewards via a menu, and the ability to find Jonathas better on the map in Old Gridania, and also the duty recorder gets G-pose and 4 and 2 times speed stripped from it, and now put into normal mode Suzaku only, which makes it bloody useless, and some awesome new additions to G-pose itself. The ability to run in certain directions and strafe is added, so you can now get movement screenshots easier, and the ability to pause time of day and weather, so you can focus on your shots without worrying about changing conditions, which is a godsend. Also, the ability to see minions' actions is also in G-pose, but a minion has to be your own, and some minions' actions won't actually work. And you can now adjust the roll action of the angle of view in increments of 25 instead to get more precise movement. They even added a new screen effect, which is underwhelming, Construction Paper 2, which I don't like. You can now set alarms in the game. A maximum of 10 can be set at any time to either the server time, Eorzea time, or local time, which will ring off and alert you to whatever you set it for. So I guess you now have less excuses for not doing real-life commitments. You can also toggle 12 and 24-hour clock formats in the UI. The Unending Journey book in In-Rooms now has the Reflect Quest Progression button, allowing you to simulate quest progression differences in certain cutscenes, which was highly requested by the community. And there's a new favorite and search function in the Minions and Mounts tabs, allowing you to find something by searching instead of filtering tons of pages. Included in this is a new favorite list for emotes too, and a most frequently used tab. Mailboxes are better in a patch with 3 tabs instead of the original 1, filtering GM notices, friends and purchases and rewards into separate tabs, with the maximum displayed per tab also being increased as well. And finally, the last change I want to bring attention to in these patch notes is the ability to store your UI config data server-side instead of on your client. So if you use other PCs or perhaps go to internet cafes, you can download your configuration data wherever you like, whenever you like, which is a really nice quality of life change for those on the move. This is by no means all there is in patch 4.4, but we covered a lot here, and I hope you enjoyed listening to my reading today. Thank you kindly for watching, and I'll see you all next time.